everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Ofente and I am your book bae. So in this video we're doing something a little bit different. This is my 10th video on my channel. I'm so excited. Ever since I started this journey, I think my first upload was, I forget if it was in March or February, but I think I filmed at the end of February and then I uploaded my first video in March. But since the beginning of this year, it's been an awesome journey and I just thought I would do this video marking this milestone, my 10th video, and because it's my birthday this Sunday, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this video is all about some of the things that I've learned so far in my journey on YouTube. Before we get into the video, I want to talk about my backstory because we love a good backstory. When I started this channel, before I actually started the channel, I think I would joke about it a lot. As I started talking about it and saying it, maybe I was subconsciously speaking it into existence, I don't know. But it started becoming something that became more real to me. And then I started doing a little bit more research. And so now I made the decision okay, I definitely want to start a channel. Great, awesome, amazing. But what is my channel going to be about? Because that's the next big thing, right? You need to discuss or have a little conversation with yourself about what is my channel going to be about, what do I like, what do I enjoy, what wouldn't I mind making a million trillion billion videos about on my channel in my spare time. And that was the next thing that kind of took me some time. I would think about it what do I like? I definitely don't want to do makeup and things like that because I feel like it's not something that I'm an expert at. I wanted to do something that I'm very comfortable in terms of my personal knowledge. And then I thought, wow, booktube is this cool thing, and I started watching more booktubers overseas. I also found some local booktubers, and then I was like, okay, well, I want to do this. I love reading. I went to school for this, so let me try myself out. But now I found myself looking more and more at videos that aren't necessarily made by booktubers and feeling oh, I want to do that, oh, that looks cool, that would be fun, that type of thing. Then I stumbled upon actually a video by a YouTuber. Her channel is called The B Word, and Bokang is the name of the person who runs the channel. She made a video where she got all these different YouTubers who are kind of seasoned YouTubers in the game, and they discussed their tips for people who are wanting to start their channels or new to YouTube and that type of thing. Now, one of the main things that was discussed that I liked were the guy Dennis from Defining discussed that he runs his channel on pillars. So instead of having a thing, you kind of have certain things that you want to always make sure that your content is kind of ticking those boxes. So with all my content, that I would always make sure that it adheres to that specific pillar. Is it informative? So yes, no, that type of thing. And then you just build all of your content around that, which I think is actually a better idea than just having a specific thing, because that in itself is very limiting. And I'm still strategizing and thinking about how I would like to take this channel forward, because it is my channel. I could be a booktube today and a vlogger tomorrow and a talk show host the next day, who knows. Not boxing yourself and having that thing that you're this is my thing, that you become so attached to it that you don't actually make content that you would like to make just because it's not your thing, is something that you should avoid. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I think affects all YouTubers across the board. This idea of consistency. Consistency is tricky, something that I definitely battled with the last couple of weeks. Sometimes I would wake up and I'd say, oh, it would be really cool to actually film a video today, but I don't have the content to build that video around, you know what I mean? So consistency is not necessarily in the filming aspect of things, but actually having things to film, something to say in front of your camera or your phone. I use my phone and my camera interchangeably, but I will discuss equipment a little bit later in the video. Just that consistency of not only being consistent in your filming, but also being consistent in all the things that you need to do in the background to make sure that your channel pops. It's not that I didn't necessarily want to record, but I was just okay, but what am I gonna record? Now you've got everything, right? You've got what you want to discuss, you've got your pillars, you're ready to go and make your first video, but now you feel you don't necessarily have the equipment. And it might be a little bit of a misconception that you need to have the ring light, you need to have the tripod, you need to have everything, and the camera, expensive camera, that type of thing, where there are a lot of resources out there that you don't necessarily need to pay for. I had a camera already, but I use my camera and my phone interchangeably, like I said. Then I started investing in things. So month by month, I would just buy a little thing that would help me. The first thing that I bought was a tripod, and then after that I bought a ring light. It's not necessarily all about having certain things. Like, to elevate your channel, what I've learned is just about making the best with what you've got. Before I had a ring light, I would make sure that I was in this specific room because it has the best light at a particular time of day, because I know that if I'm filming that day, I don't necessarily need a ring light. And even now, I sometimes don't find myself actually using my ring light because this room has such great lighting. Right now I am using it, but in general, like, sometimes I just don't, because it's not like a must have. But I also think that depends on your niche. Like, if you are a beauty YouTuber, you probably will need a ring light because you want that high definition quality where people can really see your skin and how the makeup reflects on your skin, that type of thing. So I think in terms of equipment and building up your YouTube studio, you definitely need to just look at the content that you're creating and decide what you have that you might not necessarily need at that particular time, and purchase things or get things or borrow things that make sense to your channel. But don't put yourself under too much pressure to have these things, because a lot of the time I found that you delay your progress or delay starting if you don't have it. Like, for example, I'm a booktuber, so I went through a stage where I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't have any new books to review, that type of thing. But then I took a step back and I'm like, wow, but there's books in your house. Like, look at what you have at your disposal to keep going, because a lot of the time it's these little technicalities that we use to stop us from pursuing what we actually want, and that delays your progress in whatever you would like to do. The next thing that I want to talk about is editing. Because of the work that I do, it helped me with a lot of how to do that and just knowing certain things. But I'm by no means a professional, like, at all. I'm still learning as I go, and YouTube videos help me to learn and improve my editing skills. But just keep it simple. Like, if you are starting, there are a lot of free resources out there for editing. You just need to look. It's always about just looking, and also being willing to do the work and research about what you want to do, because if you want to do something bad enough, you will find out how you can do it with what you have. I know one of my favorite influencers, Gorgeous Mbali, was discussing on her stories like a couple of weeks ago about how people always inbox her asking her like, oh Mbali, how did you start your business? She runs a cosmetics business. How did you start your business? What did you do? How did you do this? Where did you get the money? All these things that actually, if you Googled, you could find the information. So it's just all about asking. Ask your content creator friends, ask people that you know, ask Dr. Google, and you will get an answer with whatever you need. I found that a lot of the things that I learned in terms of editing and that type of thing comes from Google, YouTube, but also from some of my friends who did study and specialize in TV. I'll often ask them like, please watch my videos and how can I improve this, and what do you think about this, and they'll give me pointers and let me know, so that's also part of like this journey to always want to elevate and improve yourself. You need to be willing to ask, and you need to be gracious with the criticism that you receive, because it will only elevate you, even if it's not something that you necessarily agree with. But you definitely should consider it, because that's the thing. I did my braids like they're homemade, so some of them look a little bit crazy in the front, and I'm just like trying to hide that, just distract you with my face beat. If you don't do the research, it's not gonna fall out of the sky. Well, it just might, sometimes you're in alignment, but just have that willingness to actually seek the information and find out more, and always be wanting to improve yourself and what you're doing. It goes a long way. Starting this channel has helped me a lot, because I think that with having this project, like, it's very much a passion project at this stage. I do it for fun, and that's really it. It's helped me because it's helped me keep motivated, have something to look forward to, and also grow in my confidence and my voice. I mean, I have received so much support and great comments from people who've been watching my videos, and it really makes me feel like validated in a way. Now, obviously it's not about that, which is another thing. When you do something like this, you can't do it because you want people to be constantly clapping hands for you. You have to do it because you love it. But I have definitely received a lot of support, and I just want to say like a special shout out and thank you to everybody who's been supporting me, sharing my videos, liking my videos, commenting, just, you know, sending good vibes. I really appreciate it. And yeah, to many more videos and much more content, and just growing this channel, growing this platform. I really look forward to what this has in store for me, because I've really just seen so much growth in terms of my own personal self-confidence and just my skills, and that's one of the main pillars that I started this channel on. So that is just so rewarding in so many ways, and I'm so grateful. The last thing that I want to discuss is this idea of being authentic. So if you're authentic, and then it's easier for you to believe in what you have to offer, because you know that like, this is me. I know that there might be that thing, like some people are afraid of being dragged, and I'm definitely not trying to be dragged. Like, nobody wants to feel the wrath of Black Twitter or whatever, but I think that it would be better if you are authentically yourself and non-problematic, because that's another thing. You can't just say be problematic on these streets and be like, oh, it's okay because this is me. Like, no, that's not right. But just always make sure that you're at your center, you are being and doing something. Like, my nails coming off my gel. I have to redo them. Just make sure that you're always being authentic and doing things that you agree with. That like, when you go to bed, before you go to bed at night, the thoughts that you have, the conversation that you have with yourself, you are like, okay, this is me, this is what I want to do, and this is helping me build towards where I want to be. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please give me a big like, thumbs up, and remember to subscribe and start that channel, do whatever. I think that's another thing. This is not necessarily just about starting channels. It's about anything that you feel like you want to do, that you're afraid to do, or you're a little bit shy to do. Just try yourself out, start, you know, because a lot of people do say that starting is the most difficult thing, but for me, I can start, it's okay, but continuing, you know. So it's a process, and everybody is facing these things. Everybody does go through these ups and downs. So just have faith that what you have to offer is important, and you will go far.